Hello, Faith family. I'm going to read some scriptures to you, and then we're going to talk about this message about forgiveness. Confess your faults one to another and pray for one another that ye may be healed. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. A lot of times we think that healing is just a miraculous thing between you and Jesus, or like a miraculous thing that happens physically. But healing is also emotional healing, or connected to your soul, right? And this one verse in James chapter 5 verse 16, I love this verse because it actually says that you will be healed if you are so bold as to confess your faults one to another. Now, does that mean confessing your faults to just anybody? No, it means making sure, discerning, using the Spirit of truth to guide you in all truth, to know who you can talk to openly about things that may be plaguing you, plaguing your spirit, plaguing your soul, that you need to just get off your chest. And you will be healed if you confess them, right? Once you bring it to the light, it can no longer just live in darkness. Now, the reason that I'm giving this message about forgiveness is because a lot of times when we go through painful situations of unrequited love, right? Places where we didn't receive the love that we really needed from another person, whether that's a parent, a friend, a husband, a spouse, a wife, we have a tendency to hold on to unforgiveness, or we have a tendency to not apologize for our own faults and mistakes in the situation. And I had this really beautiful dream the other day about just being on the phone with an old friend, and we were just openly apologizing to each other. And what I love that God showed me in this dream through this friend, it's not someone that I would associate with now. It's not someone that I keep in touch with now. But it was symbolic of a person, a good friend of mine, that if I were to have a conversation with them about God, if I were to have a conversation with them about who Jesus is now in my life, right? Because it's been years and years, like tons of years since I've talked to this friend. That I would have this overwhelming urgency in me to be apologetic to them for any sort of fault or blame that I hold in my heart for anything that I may have done to keep them from their walk in the Lord. And I also blessed another girlfriend of mine recently with this revelation about forgiveness, especially with her father and her ex-boyfriend. And she texted this morning in our group chat, like, I've had so much revelation since apologizing to my dad. I didn't think that I needed to, but like, this has just opened up my greater awareness and understanding of who God is and how I see men, and how all these things, just all these gifts from above just started open heaven over her. And she's feeling so much lighter and so much better and greater because of it. So there is another verse that I want to bring up. Matthew chapter 5, verses 23 through 24. It says, "Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath odds against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother." First be reconciled to thy brother. It can be really hard for us to openly come and sit at the feet of Jesus at the altar, at the throne of grace, when we have an odds against our brother or sister in Christ. There is a great healing that God wants to bestow over you through apologies. Even if now my girlfriend, she's now parenting her parent, right? This is a reverse situation, but God is a father to the fatherless. So she reached in through her weakness to reveal the power of God in and through her to make that apology to her father, even though her father has done some really horrible things, said some really horrible things to her. But that apology opened a door in heaven for her. And I just want to express today, you have great gifts given to you by God that you want to offer at the throne. You have great people that are supposed to be attached to you by grace through your faith, right? Or by faith through your grace. No, by grace through your faith. I always mix those two up. Does anybody else do that? I always mix those up. And because you have such great gifts, there is a quenching of the Spirit in you. All because you just haven't reached out to that one person who hurt you. That technically doesn't really, make sense that you would apologize to them first. But do it. Just do it. Because you're going to get a healing from it. I love you all. Be blessed.